Hello and welcome to the first in a very special series of glitter, glamour and investment in a collaboration with Elke Berr and Dukascopy, where we'll be discovering the secret world of precious stones. Elke, welcome to the studio. Pleasure to have you in.
Thank you.
Now, we're familiar with some of your pieces. They've been prizes at our Geneva Forex event and also on display. But before we start on our discovery tour, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you get involved in the industry, please, Elke?
Yes, of course. So first of all, colored stones, jewelry is my passion. So already a kid, I was on the gathering all the minerals and stones I could find, and already in '82 I was for my back making a travel tour to Sri Lanka, going really to the mines and writing my first book, From the Mines to the Hand of the Beautiful Woman. So I was already buying the first stones also, which I could just sell to my grandmother, because of course I bought them too expensive. So I finished my studies of gemology and I came from Germany to Geneva to work for a big well-known company as a stone buyer. And 2 years afterwards I started with my husband my own company in buying and selling colored gemstones. Also I was doing art banking, expert in all jewelry, and 10 years ago, when my son was born, I started to design my own jewelry line, now well known under the name Elke Berr.
Now, we're going to talk, Elke, about precious stones. I understand there's not a definitive line of what's precious and what isn't. It's more of a subjective test. So could you tell us a little bit about the formation, perhaps, to begin with?
Yeah, so first of all, precious stones normally are considered diamonds, the most known, rubies, which is red. So these are two examples.
See, beautiful.
Sapphires. And emeralds, like I'm wearing.
That's beautiful.
So then there are a collection of stones, like spinel, Paraiba, which is less known, but can be as expensive as precious stones. And then are semi-precious stones or decorative stones like quartz, amethyst, citrine, moonstone, rutile quartz. So this is the three different types.
So you said there are different types of precious stones, but could you tell us how they are evaluated, perhaps?
So the most important of the precious stones is the beauty. So what is the beauty? So first of all, the beauty is the color. So for the diamond, it should be extra white. And for the colored stones, it should not be too dark and not too light either. For example, this is a good, excellent color of an emerald. Then the light should go through the stones. So it must be a transmission of the light. It should not be opaque. And it should have the less possible inclusions, because the inclusions are disturbing the light coming through. So that's essential. And then also the rarity. If you find them very common like quartz, they are not rare, and so they are not precious. So more rare they are, more precious they are.
And how does this differ from diamonds, for example?
So diamonds are considered, for example, the inclusion with diamonds, you're looking with a loupe to say if they're inclusions or not. With the colored gemstones, you look at them and they should be eye clean. And there is a big difference also in the market. So colored gemstones are, there's really the demand, the offer and demand, which is also considering the price. And the diamonds is a much bigger market. There are other players like that. So colored gemstones are small players, diamonds are big players. And
what other interesting facts can you glean just by looking at precious stones with a little bit more investigation?
So for the colored gemstones, for example, you should really have an overlook how they are. The shape should be nice. So this is, for example, also the 4C of the diamonds. So it's the color, as I said. It's the shape also, the cut. It should be a nice shape, not too long, not too large. It should be eye clean, what is the clarity. And it should have a certain weight, you should see them. So, for example, sapphires, we will come back later. They are much bigger than to find in the earth, like rubies, which are always smaller and more expensive.
What about in terms of hardness? How do you measure that? And is every stone the same, or perhaps inclusions? Could you tell us a little bit more detail about that?
Yes, of course. So normally the hardness is counted from 1 to 10. So diamond is the most hard element in the earth, which is 10. So the diamond can only be cut with diamonds. The second one is the corundum, which is ruby sapphire, which is 9 on the scale. And then is 8 is, for example, the emerald, which is a beryl group, and then it goes down to 7. So to be used in a jewelry, to be set and not rayable, it should be more than 7. So normally all precious stones are harder than 7. And in terms of inclusion, so inclusion, it's like a fingerprint. It's like the passport of each stone. So with the inclusions, we can know, for example, for the colored stone, which mine it comes from. The mines sometimes make a stone more precious also. And because it's different for sapphire, if it's Sri Lanka, Kashmir, or if it's Burma. And the inclusions, for example, in emeralds are very common. So normally you should also, even in the emeralds, it's called garden, but the more precious they are, more clean they are. Like this stone, it's perfectly clean. So of course it's precious. But if you see them in the microscope, sometimes they're really magnific. And also inclusions can have several effects. Like this, for example, root will give like a light, or it can have a star, like even your stone you're wearing with the spotlight on it, a star will come up. So also this one, it has like opalescence. So inclusions can make different effects, which are really sought after, which is really special and rare.
Beautiful. Well, Elke, thank you very much for your thoughts so far. A fabulous introduction to our series. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that's all from Elke and myself from the moment. Next time we'll be learning how to evaluate a diamond, so you don't want to miss that. Bye for now.